The silent language of love. We live in a world dominated by words, yet the most profound human emotions are rarely captured by speech. When a man falls deeply in love, his throat might tighten, his vocabulary might fail him, and his voice might falter. But his body will never keep the secret. Long before a man gathers the courage to articulate those three life-changing words, his subconscious mind has already begun broadcasting his feelings to the world. Human evolution has hardwired us to express our deepest attachments through a sophisticated, involuntary system of nonverbal cues. This silent language of love operates entirely beneath the surface of conscious awareness, driven by primitive brain structures, nervous system responses, and a rush of powerful neurochemicals like dopamine, oxytocin, and adrenaline. For centuries, behavioral psychologists and relationship experts have studied the intricate mechanics of human attraction, discovering that while spoken words can be carefully manufactured, rehearsed, or even fabricated, the body is incapable of lying. When a man is genuinely invested in a woman, his physiological responses change automatically in her presence. His pupils dilate to take in more of her image. His heart rate accelerates, changing his breathing patterns, and his posture shifts to signal openness and vulnerability. These are not calculated moves designed to impress. They are raw, instinctual biological confessions of a heart that has already chosen its partner. Understanding this nonverbal dialogue is like unlocking a secret code, allowing you to read his true intentions with absolute clarity and confidence. Navigating the early stages of a romance, or trying to gauge the depth of a long-term partner's commitment can often feel like a guessing game filled with overanalysis and mixed signals. However, by shifting your focus away from what he says and paying close attention to what he does, the truth becomes undeniably clear. A man's body language acts as a continuous, real-time mirror of his emotional state. Every subtle shift in his footing, every brief touch on the small of your back, and every lingering gaze across a crowded room is a deliberate, subconscious effort to establish a profound connection, offer protection, and bridge the physical distance between your two worlds. By learning to recognize and interpret these 15 distinct body language signs, ranging from the subtle twitch of a Duchenne's smile to the protective nature of open posture, you gain an intimate window into his soul. You will begin to see that love is not just a sentiment expressed on special occasions, but a living, breathing physical presence that manifests in the smallest, most quiet everyday moments. These micro-expressions and instinctual gestures form an unbreakable, unwritten contract of affection. When you know exactly what to look for, you will realize that he has been telling you he loves you all along, shouting his devotion from across the room without ever making a single sound. Prolonged, deep eye contact. When a man is deeply in love, his gaze becomes a powerful tool for emotional connection. He will lock eyes with you for extended periods, far beyond the standard duration of casual conversation. This intense, lingering look is not an attempt to intimidate. Rather, it is a silent declaration of vulnerability and affection. By maintaining this deep visual connection, he is actively signaling that you have his absolute undivided attention. It creates an intimate, conversational bubble that effectively shuts out the rest of the world. In psychology, this prolonged gaze is known to trigger the release of oxytocin, the hormone responsible for bonding and deep attachment. He is looking past the surface level, seeking a genuine soul-to-soul connection and trying to read your innermost thoughts and feelings. Through this steady and warm eye contact, he communicates comfort, security, and a profound, wordless adoration. The genuine Duchenne smile. A Duchenne smile is the ultimate instinctual indicator of true happiness and deep affection. Unlike a polite or forced social smirk that only engages the mouth, a genuine smile fills his entire face and is completely involuntary. When he looks at you, his lips will turn upward. His cheeks will lift significantly, and tiny, crinkling lines, often called crow's feet, will form naturally around the outer corners of his eyes. This specific physical reaction is incredibly difficult to fake because it relies on the unconscious contraction of the orbicularis oculi muscles. When a man loves you, this radiant expression lights up his face the very moment you enter the room or speak. It serves as a clear, unscripted reflection of the pure joy and emotional safety he experiences simply by being in your presence, proving that your mere existence genuinely brightens his world. Instinctive physical proximity and leaning in. Love naturally drives a person to close the physical gap between themselves and the object of their affection. Whenever you are sitting or standing together, you will notice him instinctively leaning his upper body toward you. This forward tilt happens completely subconsciously. Whether you are sharing a quiet, intimate secret or just discussing a mundane daily topic, he will routinely find subtle reasons to enter your personal space bubble, gravitating toward you like a magnet in social settings. By minimizing the physical distance, he is signaling a deep desire for emotional closeness and mutual accessibility. This posture shows he is entirely engaged in your presence and wants to catch every single word you say. It is a protective, warm, and highly inviting stance that establishes a private sanctuary for just the two of you, effectively tuning out all external environmental distractions, subconscious mirroring of your actions. When two people share a powerful emotional bond, their brains naturally activate mirror neurons, causing their movements to sync up perfectly. If a man loves you, he will subconsciously adopt your body language, gestures, and overall posture during your interactions. If you take a sip of your drink, lean back in your chair, cross your legs, or laugh, he will often replicate the exact same action a few moments later without even realizing it. This behavioral mimicry is nature's way of establishing rapport, empathy, and deep mutual understanding. It is a non-verbal method of saying, "I am completely in tune with you, and we are on the exact same wavelength." This synchronous dance of body language proves that he is deeply focused on your presence, emotionally aligned with your current state, and fully invested in creating harmony. Frequent, unconscious blinking. An increased blink rate is a subtle, fascinating physiological response tied directly to heightened emotional arousal and intense focus. When a man is looking at someone he deeply loves, his nervous system experiences a gentle spike in excitement and neurological activity. This internal emotional shift can cause his eyes to blink much more rapidly than normal because he is staring at you with such fierce, rapt attention. His eyes naturally require more moisture to maintain that steady, unbroken connection. This rapid blinking is a completely involuntary reaction that he cannot easily control or manufacture on a whim. It serves as a clear physical manifestation of the positive nervous energy, anticipation, and deep affection he feels while looking at you. It indicates that your presence genuinely excites him, keeping his mind fully alert, captivated, and utterly spellbound by everything you do. The protective hand on your lower back. A gentle hand placed firmly on your lower back is a classic, instinctual sign of male affection and protective care. When navigating a crowded room, walking through a doorway, or crossing a busy street, he will naturally rest his palm right above your hip. This gesture serves multiple purposes. It guides you safely through chaotic environments, establishes a reassuring physical connection, and subtly signals to the outside world that you are together. It is a highly comforting action that stems from a deep-rooted desire to ensure your safety and well-being. The lower back is a sensitive, personal zone, so touching it requires a high level of trust and familiarity. By placing his hand there, he is silently communicating that he has your back, literally and figuratively, providing a solid sense of security, warmth, and grounded emotional support without needing to utter a single word. Gentle, non-sexual touching. When a man is deeply in love, his physical touch extends far beyond mere physical desire. It becomes a tool for pure emotional tenderness. You will notice him constantly initiating small, fleeting, and entirely non-sexual points of contact throughout the day. He might softly brush a stray lock of hair away from your forehead, gently caress your arm while you are speaking, or softly squeeze your shoulder as he walks past your chair. These subtle micro-touches are completely spontaneous and are driven by a subconscious need to maintain a continuous physical bond with you. They represent a pure, affectionate desire to feel close, comfort you, and remind you of his constant presence. This gentle approach demonstrates that he respects your boundaries, while cherishing your physical being, using light, sweet gestures to consistently weave a thread of safety, intimacy, and profound warmth into your daily routine. Dilated pupils, when looking at you. The eyes truly act as windows to the soul, offering uncontrollable physiological clues about a person's innermost feelings. When a man looks at someone he loves, his pupils will automatically dilate, expanding significantly even in a brightly lit room. This pupillary response is governed entirely by the autonomic nervous system, meaning it is an involuntary reaction that is completely impossible to fake or manipulate. In psychology and biology, pupil dilation is a direct result of increased dopamine and emotional arousal. It happens because the brain wants to take in as much of the beloved visual stimulus as humanly possible. When his eyes widen in this manner, it reveals that he finds you utterly captivating, deeply attractive, and emotionally stimulating. It is a subtle, silent biological confession that your mere presence triggers a rush of genuine excitement, profound pleasure, and intense focus deep within his mind. Pointing his feet directly toward you, one of the most honest and frequently overlooked indicators of human interest, lies in the direction of a person's feet. Subconsciously, our bodies point toward what our minds truly desire or where we want to go. If a man is in love with you, his feet will almost always be oriented directly toward you, even if his upper body is temporarily turned away to speak with someone else in the room. Whether you are sitting across a crowded dinner table or standing in a large social gathering, this alignment remains consistent. It serves as a powerful nonverbal cue that you are his primary point of focus and ultimate destination. Conversely, if someone wants to leave a conversation, their feet will naturally angle toward the nearest exit. By keeping his feet locked onto your position, his subconscious mind is constantly declaring that he is fully anchored, entirely present, and wants to stay right by your side. Open body posture, uncrossed arms and legs. An open, expansive body language posture is a definitive indicator of absolute trust, emotional vulnerability, and deep affection. When a man loves you and feels entirely secure in your presence, he will abandon all defensive physical barriers. You will notice that his arms are relaxed at his sides, rather than tightly crossed over his chest. His legs are uncrossed, and his torso is turned completely towards you. Tightly crossing arms or placing objects like bags and pillows in front of the chest is a universal, subconscious method of self-protection against discomfort or threat. By maintaining a completely open posture, he is non-verbally demonstrating that he has zero walls up around you. He feels completely safe exposing his chest and vital organs to your gaze, signaling that he welcomes you into his heart, holds nothing back, and is entirely receptive to your energy, emotions, and words, removing physical barriers between you. When a man is deeply in love, his subconscious mind actively seeks to remove any object that creates a distance between the two of you. When sitting at a table for dinner or drinks, he will quietly move menus, water glasses, salt shakers, or centerpiece candles to the side. This subtle rearranging of his environment is a non-verbal declaration that he wants an unobstructed path to your heart. Physical barriers create psychological barriers, and someone in love cannot tolerate anything blocking the flow of energy, sightlines, or potential touch. By clearing the space, he ensures that he can see you completely, hear you clearly, and easily reach out for your hand. It is an instinctual housekeeping of your shared environment, proving that he values a direct, intimate, and entirely unhindered connection with you over everything else in the surrounding room, tilting his head while listening to you. A head tilt is a beautiful, involuntary sign of deep emotional engagement, vulnerability, and intense focus. When you are speaking and he tilts his head slightly to the side, he is exposing his neck, which is one of the most physically vulnerable parts of the human anatomy. Subconsciously, this action tells you that he feels entirely safe with you and has lowered all personal defenses. Furthermore, tilting the head angles his ear closer to you, demonstrating that he is hanging on your every word and processing your thoughts with genuine curiosity. He is not just waiting for his turn to speak. He is actively absorbing your story, your tone, and your emotions. This posture shows absolute presence and empathy, signaling that your voice is his favorite sound and that whatever you are sharing is of paramount importance to his world. Flushed cheeks or rapid breathing around you. Love triggers a powerful chemical cocktail inside the human body, forcing a man's nervous system into a state of heightened excitement and anticipation. When he's around you, his body releases adrenaline and dopamine, which naturally accelerates his heart rate and increases blood flow. This physiological spike manifests visibly as slightly flushed cheeks or a sudden, subtle shift to faster, shallower breathing. He might take a deep, centering breath right before he speaks to you in an attempt to calm his racing heart. Because these reactions are controlled by the autonomic nervous system, they are entirely impossible for him to suppress or fake. His body is physically reacting to your presence as a beautiful, exciting jolt to his system, serving as an undeniable biological confession that you possess a thrilling, intoxicating power over his emotions and physical well-being. Fixing his clothes or hair. When you enter the room, the moment you walk into a room, a man who loves you will instantly and subconsciously attempt to improve his appearance. This instinctual behavior, known in behavioral psychology as preening, happens within a split second of making eye contact. You will catch him smoothing down his shirt, adjusting his collar, fixing his watch, or running a hand quickly through his hair. Subconsciously, his mind is racing to ensure he looks his absolute best for you. Driven by an ancient, evolutionary desire to appear attractive and capable to his chosen partner. It is a silent admission that your opinion of him matters immensely, and he wants to stand tall and polished in your eyes. This rapid, nervous adjustment is a dead giveaway that your presence completely shifts his focus, making him acutely aware of how he presents himself to you. Fierce, attentive focus in crowded spaces. In a loud, chaotic, or highly populated environment, a man's true feelings are laid bare by where he places his attention. When he is in love with you, you effectively become the only person in the room. Even if the space is filled with flashing lights, loud music, or fascinating distractions, his eyes will constantly track your movements and scan the crowd to lock onto yours. He will prioritize talking to you, laughing at your jokes, and checking on your comfort level above anyone else. This fierce focus creates an invisible protective wall around the two of you, making a crowded room feel completely empty. By choosing to tune out the external noise and invest all his sensory energy entirely into your presence, his subconscious mind is loudly declaring that you are his ultimate priority, his safe harbor and his favorite person.